15 love.
Played well in Adelaide. As a matter of fact, Adelaide, the tournament there, he's won that 4 times, and that has gotten him off to a very good start. But he has translated that into 2 Grand Slams. He's won the US Open and Wimbledon. So his Australian Open record does not look that good yet.
Love.
So much of Hewitt's success tonight is going to be all about how well he serves. It'll make his own life a lot easier if he gets a lot in. He's been winning it's an underrated part of his game when it's working well. But Nalbandian has broken his last 4 opponents 34 times. That's how good his return game is.
Last time these two played against each other was the Wimbledon final. It was an amazing effort by Nalbandian, who was playing his first grass court tournament ever.
Not only
got
that,
all the way to the final.
You're right, Cliff. And not only that, but this is the first time that Nalbandian had ever gotten to play on the center court. Leighton was the top seed, so he'd been playing center court matches. They had to give a special, like, papal dispensation to Nalbandian the morning before this big match of his.
Give him 15 minutes on center court.
Just to get used to it. I mean, that's how crazy it was that Nalbandian found himself in that Wimbledon final. They also played on clay, and you handled that one as well.
So there has not been a contest between these two, but it's been a long time since they played. And Nalbandian said, in any case, that this was going to be a very different match. He's more mature. The truth is, they both are a lot more mature. Nalbandian at love won first set.
Number 15.
1 point so far for Nalbandian, who is from Cordoba in Argentina. About a 4.5-hour drive from Buenos Aires. 13-3 here at the Australian. He lost last year to Federer. But the year before, he beat Federer here.
Turn this into a Davis Cup match, aren't they?
Yes. mentality of these two is pretty similar. Neither one of them is a net rusher. They're both, though, very solid from the ground, and they wait for their opponents to try too much. They can both be aggressive sometimes, but for the most part, that's not the psychology of these, either one.
Well, Lleyton Hewitt is the first Aussie to ever win Wimbledon without serving and volleying. In fact, throughout the 7 rounds, that 2 weeks of Wimbledon, he never served and volleyed once.
Break point for Hewitt, and he's got another couple.
15-14.
Well, if he's hurting, Cliff, I'm certainly not picking it up at all.
I didn't see too much hurt out of him, too, when he came back in that match against Rafael Nadal.
No, and then yesterday he spent getting a lot of treatment on it, electric stim. He actually went into the ocean. Figured that would be nice, gentle exercise for him.
Still break point.
13-14.
It's something he's been living with for weeks, so you can get pretty used to that. Wow, nice comeback from Nalbandian from love 40. Nalbandian has had a pretty rough ride, beating David Ferrer in a very long match. I watched part of that. Boy, did that go on. And then Ventura and Gonzalez, that was another very tough match. And then taking out Guillermo Coria in a match that was played here 2 nights ago. They didn't get out of here till about 2 in the morning.
It was after 2, that's right. And of course, then they had to do press. There weren't but a couple of 100 people left at that stage. And it was a battle of 2 Argentines who used to be really good friends. In fact, they played doubles together as kids. They were in the juniors alongside each other. Deuce. Four in a row for Nalbandian. He's got a game point. He's not easily phased, Nalbandian.
He really isn't. He just gets dug in, David. And he likes these long rallies. I mean, he knows as well as everybody else that Hewitt's been getting treated for a hip. He'll stay out there all night long if he has to.
So Nalbandian at love 40 is able to claw his way out of this, and we're even.
Just errors from Hewitt.
1 game.
In his last round against Coria, a couple of nights ago, or I guess early yesterday morning, this is what it looked like in Rod Laver Arena. Tiny pockets of Argentines watching, only a couple hundred people, and of course, here he is now, a day later, facing a packed house that's screaming very much for their man, Lleyton Hewitt.
Well, it was a weekday. You don't expect him to stay here until 2 in the morning. 15 love Hewitt at 1 apiece. Now, Nalbandian his name is Armenian. His granddad immigrated to Argentina from Armenia. He comes from actually a town called Urquio, which is in the province of Cordoba, about 450 miles from Buenos Aires.
Very modest upbringing Nalbandian had. They didn't know what was going on when he got to the Wimbledon final. A lot of people there didn't even they don't know what professional tennis is all about.
They have only one tennis court in Urquio.
Yeah. Not on the day of his Wimbledon final. as they do at the homes, the parents' homes of soccer stars. There are all kinds of people outside Nalbandian's parents' small white stucco home cheering him on. And even though he lost in straight sets to Hewitt, he was a huge star when he came back. This is who Lleyton Hewitt has been dating of late. Beck Cartwright, she's a big TV star.
Sitting next to Jocelyn, his sister. Jocelyn on the left. And Hewitt holds, so it's 2-1 in the first set. We're on serve now. Nalbandian. This is best of 5 quarterfinals men's singles. David Nalbandian is the number 9 seed. He's taking on Lleyton Hewitt here at the Australian Open. Hewitt, as we've been saying, never progressed further than this quarterfinal round. In fact, never before 16. A round of 16, and now he has. This is for a spot in the last 4.
And it's interesting that the other 3 top seeds are on through. That doesn't always happen. Federer, Roddick, and Marat Safin, last year's finalists, are already in the semis.
15 love.
Have a repeat of the final of last year in the semi-final with Roddick and Safin.
Number 3 seed beat Arnaud Clément of France easily. But then James Blake took a set from him, and they mixed it up a little bit. Blake was a little tired of all of the antics of
Blake had a set point the second set, too.
He sure did. And then Chela, Juan Ignacio Chela, another Argentine, before beating the Spaniard Nadal. His
13-15.
There's John Fitzgerald, Fitzy, a fine player of the past, a very fine doubles player.
And Davis Cup captain.
Davis Cup captain, and Hewitt certainly is. He's one of the few guys who will still play Davis Cup no matter what, make any kind of room in his schedule for it. That's not true. You can't say that of a lot of the guys. This year, Roger Federer's not going to play for Switzerland. Tim Henman's not going to play for England. Carlos Moya, the Davis Cup superstar from just a couple of months ago, he's not playing for Spain. Hewitt always answers the bell.
Nalbandian holds, so it's even to a piece first set. Do you think that we'll see Agassi playing Davis Cup for the US again after all those years of having said enough? He was a great supporter of Davis Cup at a certain time, and then, you know, he's 34, closing in on 35 years of age. But do you think we'll see him? There's a chance.
Well, the captain of the Davis Cup team and our buddy in the booth, Patrick McEnroe, was supposed to be talking to Andre about it, but he certainly didn't want to talk to him. He told Andre, let's wait till after the tournament, but he certainly didn't want to talk to Andre after his devastating defeat last night to Roger Federer. But to answer your question, Cliff, I think he might play this year. I think Andre knows that he's getting close to saying goodbye to this sport. And I get the sense, Patrick said it was probably less than 50%, but I get the sense that now more than ever, Andre wants to play for the U.S. one more time. You know, he really likes Patrick and wants to help win it one more time. And again, this is a year where not everyone's going to be playing. And Agassi really likes Roddick.
15
He likes the idea of...
And Roddick asked him to play, too.
And Roddick asked him to play, and, you know, our doubles team, the Bryan brothers, certainly are totally into it. So
is Roddick.
I think it might be, I think we might get, maybe not every round, but a sentimental journey out of Agassi. So my answer is yes. That's a nice looking ace. Again, it's a big part of Lleyton Hewitt's success. I don't talk about it because it's not huge, but it can be very well placed. And this is exactly the start that Hewitt won. One of his big problems against Nadal is he only served 51% in that 5-setter. He had to struggle so much.
No, missed it. Nalbandian says that his family wasn't wealthy. My father and mother had a small leather factory in our home, and that's what we lived on. And then they moved to Cordoba, and he started practicing in Buenos Aires 2 or 3 days a week and went home on weekends. As Hewitt holds, so it's 3 games to 2 for Hewitt. Nalbandian. Argentina will serve when we come back to Leighton.
They watched their favorite daughter, Alicia Malik, play her heart out earlier today.
They sure did. But she, in a losing effort.
9-7 in the third. She lost to Lindsay Davenport, the world's #1. But I like what I saw. Did you like what you saw?
Yeah, I thought it was a terrific match. I thought Lindsay played extremely well. And I tell you, my hat's off to Lindsay because she stayed with it in the heat. And it was toasty.
Now she's got a very good look at the final because she plays a French woman, Natalie Deschy, in the semis. That's nice. Open up his shoulders on that one. I actually think Nalbandian may have a little bit more firepower than Hewitt, but again, I think Leighton will be more eager to try to end these long rallies in deference to his hip.
In deference to his hip.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you think he'd be prepared to stay out there and just trade with this Nalbandian?
We're looking at 2 grinders, aren't we?
Yes.
That's 2 well placed by Nalbandian, 2 well struck.
And they bang it at each other, and you can just see them both thinking, when do I make the move? When do I take the risk?
And Nalbandian's a much more confident, complete player than he was when he faced Leighton Hewitt 2 years ago. This guy's got a lot of wins under his belt, much more experience. He wasn't always fit last year. He's fit now. That's nice.
Well, among other things, that was the youngest Wimbledon final in the Open era. Nalbandian was 20 years old, and Hewitt 21.
15.
So they've both learned a lot since then.
I've watched Nalbandian an awful lot since, Cliff, but I got to tell you, until that Wimbledon, I'd never seen this guy. And he was seated. He was seated 28th, but he was seated because he had done a lot of his work. A lot of his ranking points came on clay. Oh, that's beautifully played. Nifty little bit of touch here from Hewitt. Neither one of them is terribly inclined to play from up there, but that's nicely handled. I think Hewitt will probably be in more than Nalbandian tonight. You know, Nalbandian has had good success against net rushers. He used to drive Federer nuts. He's got a nice record against Andy Roddick. What a war they had a couple of years ago at the U.S. Open.
You see that sweat dripping off his face, too, at this early stage. Only 3-2.
Nalbandian accused Roddick of being a very unpopular player on the court. He thought Roddick was making too much noise in that U.S. Open match they played. Roddick actually called him up later that night and said, look, man, don't talk to the press. Talk to me about what's your problem with me. And there's the mark from that serve. It's good. So they cleared the air. call. That's why Hewitt's aggravated. It was a late call.
It's Mohamed Layani, who's from Sweden, in the chair. Saying exactly what you said. It was a late call, and it was called out, and it just took the line according to the shot spot. So, a break there for Hewitt. Deuce.
Thank you.
There's going to be a lot of that tonight, isn't there? Do you think the chair is sincerely thanking them for those little rips or not?
No, that's another way of saying bottle it.
Nalbandian's first ace.
Game point Nalbandian. It's wide.
Deuce.
Hewitt's thought of as a bit of a loner on the tour. The same can be said of Nalbandian. In fact, you know that that Citron Award that
In Paris.
that the media give to the crabbiest guy, the crabbiest player. Nalbandian's won that.
There's only since a certain Chilean retired.
Marcelo Rios.
Yes.
Yes, but his uniform hangs in Roland Garros. The all-time Mr. Krabby Potatoes.
Leighton Hewitt, meanwhile, has got a chance to break here. And he's had chances before. In fact, this is his fourth. No breaks yet. Remember, he had Love 40.
Roger Rashid is Leighton's coach. Used to be his physical trainer. Now he's his coach. Been that way for a while.
That is called wide. Now Nalbandian is not going to enjoy that call, but there's no overrule. The score is called by Mohammed, and it's 4-2 break a serve.
Nalbandian should. This is correct crabbiness from Nalbandian.
Yeah,
That's a huge point.
there were a couple that went against him in that game.
That's true.
And the game goes to Hewitt. Roger Rashid and he have formed a partnership that has obviously been really successful, and they're trying to get Hewitt into the semi-final to take on Andy Roddick. But it was controversial when he went with Rashid, who's his buddy from Adelaide, in the early stages, because he didn't have a deep tennis history.
He's helped Hewitt pack on 10 pounds of muscle from last year.
Such a shot like this, Marion, my sense is that he, there's not that big topspin. He doesn't have a whole lot of room that a guy like Nadal has, for example. But it's no less formidable, those ground strokes of his.
He prefers hard courts to the clay. He's done his best work on the hard. Beautiful. It's just tremendous.
Trying to get the break back here. About 30. Well, now Nalbandian played on, he says he played on hard court since age 5, coached by my 2 older brothers, Javier and Dario. And he said that his parents and another 19 families helped them build a 2-court private club when he was just a kid. So, yeah, hard courts are no stranger to him. 15-30.
15-30.
Led the ATP in returning second serves last year. So how important is it for Leighton Hewitt to get his first serve in?
So far, he's only at 41%.
Fair job. Fourteen, 13.
This match so far by a long way, nothing even close. That's terrific. Great court coverage and then a little half volley drop shot winner. Good feel here from both of them actually. But look at this now here. He gets this one to the lob over his head and it lands not more than 6 inches from the line. Leighton comes up with an attempted pass and then he's way out of court. Very, very solid point. Now Nalbandian trying desperately to get the break back. It's deuce.
And here's his first break point.
You know, Mary, against you watch these two guys play with certain players, you'd say this first set is so important because, you know, the momentum could swing and the guy could go away. Not here.
No.
Doesn't matter what the score is in the first set. The second set's going to be a war also.
They're just clearing their throats.
Called wide.
And Nalbandian doesn't like that call. And he's had some rotten ones already in this first set.
Yeah, well, that one should have been an easy call because it wasn't that. Let's take a look at this one.
Look at that. He got hosed again.
Yeah.
This poor guy. I don't know if I feel sorry for David Nalbandian, frankly. But he's had some terrible calls against him. That's a tremendous return of serve.
Cannot wait for the day when players are going to be able to challenge the chair umpires and lands people with technology like we have now. It's not far away. And some of these errors really at important stages will be corrected. Break point again. Puts that one away. In full flight, Lleyton Hewitt.
That's his first beach.
Yeah.
That's his first one.
And we haven't heard a real serious come on either.
Well, a couple of rounds ago, another Argentine spit at Hewitt for all this.
That could not be more acceptable at that stage. He's just hit a great point, puts the ball away. What the other players complain about is when they make a double fault. And
Exactly.
so game point. Hewitt.
Advantage Hewitt.
too tough, and there's a come on from Hewitt, and he stays in front, and he struggled in that game. Nalbandian had a couple of great points in that game, did not convert. Hewitt 5-2. Concerned about this one.
They are.
Yes.
Cliffy, you're so inside. He's got the best lob in men's tennis. And he just showed one. And one of the reasons is because Lleyton Hewitt is so quick that he gives himself time for options. He likes the lob idea. So now he's 3 points from the first set.
Is the speed differential between these two a big factor, Mary?
Well, I think he's definitely quicker than Nalbandian. Yeah, I think it can be a big factor.
Two points away from the set for Hewitt.
Nalbandian seems a little tight to me, Cliff. He might not be, but he's to me, he's playing a little tight. Maybe that'll change after this first set's over. Might take him a little while to get used to the noise coming off of this court.
Yeah, he's got that. He's also, as Hewitt has got 3 set points here, Mary, he's also had a couple of really bad calls, and I think he feels genuinely badly done by the chair ump and the hands people here. This is the first chance of 3 for Hewitt. Hewitt's mom and dad, Glenn and Sherilyn. Saves a couple. Glenn was a Aussie Rules football player here in Australia, very successful. In fact, his whole family has been involved in that sport. They have a channel here in Australia that's dedicated only to Australian Rules football. It's huge. Still break point and set point for Hewitt. First serve game of Nalbandian's in the match. The same thing happened. He was down love 30, came back and won that game.
Love 40.
Love 40, excuse me.
Hewitt wanted a call. I don't know if it was that far wide.
Hey.
Wow, it was. Hewitt's right. So Hewitt gets a bad one.
Yeah, you're right, mate.
That's a big hold from Nalbandian. He's done that a couple of times already in this first set. And we've already talked about what a tremendous returner of serve he is. He's had some looks. Only a couple so far. Don't count him out of this first set yet.
Hewitt serving for the first set. Just squandered 3 set points. And that can put you on your heels mentally. Or not.
Here's how tough Nalbandian has been. We talk about his return game. 34 times. That's in 4 rounds. He's broken his opponent's serve, including 10 times against the number 6 seed, Guillermo Coria, in the last round. Hewitt's only just over 50% first serves in this first set. That's not going to be good enough. And it'll wear out his hip.
No breaks for Nalbandian in this match yet.
When he gets that serve in, he can take control. He can set up his groundies. When he doesn't serve well, he's got to fight back just to get into the point, and that takes a lot out of him. There you go. Number 6.
13-15.
Or was it? Man, another rotten call for Nalbandian.
That's way too close to overrule. I mean,
yeah. Still, when there's not much between two guys, bad calls can kill you.
Whoa, lined up for that one. And he was aiming that one over the high part of the net. And it just clipped
14-15.
Otherwise, he had it going away, but instead, it's again the set point. First on his serve. Very solid. I tell you, that's just excellent tennis here in the first set. A little shaky from Nalbandian in parts. Hewitt wins it. Now, Hewitt has had patches in almost all of his matches, Mary, where he's gone off the boil, as Fred used to say, for quite a while.
But the wheels didn't come off, as he also used to say all the time.
See, it was little patches, we've said, against Clement. There were no down patches, but he started out poorly against Blake. Blake had to set, and actually had set points in the second one. But against Chele looked great, and then the second set just sort of went away. And Nadal also. Nalbandian holds. He's got 1 game in the second. Watching the Australian Open, this is a men's quarterfinal. It's David Nalbandian of Argentina, the number 9 seed. They're about 10 minutes away from downtown Melbourne. It's a very livable city in every respect, and get around it pretty easily as well. Cliff Drysdale here, Mary Carrillo.
And we're about 20 minutes away from fireworks. This is the 4th of July down under. And they do a very nice display. I'm sure we'll be able to watch part of it. on this magnificent evening, Australia Day.
It's a very hot day, but the evenings obviously cools down. How nice a sight is that? It's almost extraterrestrial, isn't it, with this
It's
retractable
unbelievable.
roof?
It's unbelievable here. This used to be really thought of as a, by far the 4th of the majors. And now it's the highest tech of them all. The most present, the nicest fans, the greatest organization.
And it's jammed from day 1
Yep.
to day 14.
Snappy work from Hewitt at the net. He pretty much only comes in to put something away, like right now. And he pitches spots well. He comes in on his own terms. These blue shoes of Hewitt's, they are all, they're all over the city. Not only are the kids, the Hewitt fans, the young kids wearing them, but they're just all over town. They've been a big hit this season. That's really nice.
Even in the second.
That's a lot of heat coming from Leighton. Normally he doesn't serve that big, does he? He just kind of bangs it around, moves it around the box. But that one, 132. I don't think I've ever seen him serve that big. Leighton's got this squad of fans. They call themselves the Fanatics, and as we have a quick look at the numbers here, it's just one break of serve decided that opening set. Look how tough Leighton is when he gets that first serve in. Hewitt is still in litigation with the ATP Tour, not having given ESPN an interview a couple of years ago.
In Cincinnati.
And he doesn't get on well with the Aussie Tennis Federation on a number of levels.
He wants more tickets for the Fanatics than he gets.
That's exactly right. He resents it. He has to pay for so many of the tickets. And then the Fanatics make so much noise that it was decided last year that maybe that wasn't a good thing. So they were sort of reprimanded somehow, which also didn't go over too well in the Hewitt camp. In the meantime, there are all manner of nutty fans for Sweden, especially, and for Greece, because there's such a huge Greek population here.
Oh. 30-15 now. Bandy and one apiece in the second. Fanatics going away Davis Cup ties with these guys as well.
Oh yeah, they really are. They are fanatical.
Pressure is on Nalbandian here, having lost the first set. He made way too many unforced errors in the first set. And there they are. There are the Fanatics. There's hardly a point goes by that they don't sing something. But 16 unforced errors from Nalbandian in the match. 13 in the first set.
And very few winners. So he's not making much of an impression on this. I asked Fred Stolle what he thought of the Fanatics, and he said, oh, I like them, but he says, I wouldn't want to sit in front of them or behind them. Pay $60 for a seat. I don't want to be any part of them. It's fiery for you.
That didn't sound anything like the fiery Fred Stolle. I mean,
Not even close.
2-1 Nalbandian on serve in the second set. Hewitt won the first. Leighton Hewitt played this tournament 9 times. He's never done as well as he has this year. He's playing for a spot here in the last 4. Started in '97 as a qualifier.
Leighton, the legend of Hewitt is that back when he first started, he was so scrawny. Only 15 years old, he was already playing professional tennis. He was so scrawny that they couldn't find shorts small enough for him. So he had this big safety pin in his shorts to keep him up.
He's not exactly a big guy, but he sure is scrawny. I mean, he is, as you said earlier, he's put on a good 10 pounds in weight here and in strength, really.
Here's Nalbandian. If Nalbandian doesn't make use of this love 30 game, he'll really be aggravated at himself. He's had some looks. And normally, this guy is very good at breaking serve.
No, that one goes wide, and Hewitt has 15-30 on his serve.
A little surprised. Nalbandian still seems a little on edge.
That is, that's an overrule by Mohamed Hani. And
Now Hewitt's talking to the chair. Yeah, it was out.
it was out, but close. Supposed to only overrule if it's a clear mistake. Well, that was a good overrule. And Nalbandian's got a couple of break points. It hasn't broken yet. Had a couple of chances in the first set. Top of that one. Hewitt was nowhere near it. He tried to steer it back down the line. That is his worst shot of the day at a critical time.
I'm just not used to seeing so many errors from Nalbandian. He's usually so tidy out there. He makes you work for everything normally. That's his coach, Eduardo Infantino. It's his 18th error. And just 3 winners. just can't seem to loosen up and go for his shots. And he's getting a lot of help from Hewitt, who's missing so many first serves. He's only at 50. It's so odd.
Well, none was worse than that two-hander that he tried to steer there at a break point. He hasn't broken yet, and you pointed out earlier how many times he's broken against everybody else. Minimum of 6 or 7 anyway. All of his matches. Nalbandian, but no breaks yet.
Net for serve.
Another meek shot from David Nalbandian.
Yeah, that's a head shaker, that one. I mean, I can see him taking the 2 hands off and going for the slice. I like that play. But that's not one that you should ever miss. So from 2 break points down to game point for Hewitt. You were saying earlier, Mary, that talking about their television ratings here, this is prime time here in the evening in Australia. This is a country of 18-20 million people, and 2 to 3 of them are watching this match right now. Extraordinary high ratings, understandably, with both Alicia Molik going down earlier today.
Nalbandian thought it was a leg. And
Mohammed is saying that if he heard it, he'd call it. That was a big game for Lleyton Hewitt, a really big one, because Nalbandian, I was about to, you 15-40 down, and you talked, Mary, about how successful he's been breaking serve. You've got to figure he's going to be able to break from 15-40. Then I was going to say, settle back and relax, because this is going to be a long night. Now it's
what are you
an open question, because it depends on what happens in the next few games. Say that this could be over pretty quickly as Mom and Dad give Lleyton a hand. About 15 on Hewitt. On Nalbandian serve.
Left for serve.
Wally Masur on the left. Outstanding Australian player. Great doubles player, actually, Wally.
There is no other country like Australia in that after they finish playing their own tennis, they do so much to help their sport in other ways.
Well,
they're staging tournaments, or like Fitzy here, like Wall, like coaching. These guys just don't go away. They still want to hang around the sport. There's just nothing like them.
Well, hats off to the federation here. They keep them involved too.
Yep.
You know which other association does a good job of that, Mary, is the French.
The French, exactly right. But the Aussies seem to have a lot more scams than anybody else, too. I mean, they're always giving clinics, they're giving speeches. They're playing, they still play a lot of them in the Masters events, the majors. The love affair doesn't end. Just one more thing to admire about them.
15-30 at 2-2 second set.
Wow.
That's a crack.
That's racket abuse. He's going to try to play with that, which I don't know how that. He's going to try to act like, no, I didn't wreck my racket. That's fine. He's going to try to play 1 point with it, and then I'll act like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just go for a different tension racket.
Well, explain why, Mary.
Yeah.
Because if he goes over there now, he gets a warning. He knows it's correct. You're right, he does. This is break point. So Leighton Hewitt was in trouble in his last serve game, down 15-40, but he held. Now he's broken. Hewitt is setting the break.
Well, I don't think we can compare it to the famous and fabulous Spurleya Venus Williams chest bump at the US Open back in '99, but it was something.
Are you getting where I was coming from earlier when I said to you this is what I was going to say and I didn't? Because here's what.
You're always
where we're at.
explaining what you feel like saying, but you're going to not say, you'll say something. Yeah, I mean, that's the essence of you.
Very clear. Crystal clear. Chances tonight. He had them last time.
14-15.
Leighton Hewitt served. He had 15-40, did not convert, and it's been downhill for him since then. Hewitt here with a chance to go up 4-2.
It's amazing that Hewitt has been that successful on serve, considering that he's had to put in a second serve every other point. Nalbandian's got to be, he's driving himself nuts here. Getting all these looks. Remember the last time Nalbandian served and he cracked his frame on the last changeover, he did in fact grab a new one. this one hasn't worked so well for him either. Now down 2-4 and a set.
Andy Roddick's waiting for the winner of this one.
Roddick has benefited from a very soft draw, and his opponent today retired after a couple of sets. Couldn't even finish it off. Davydenko. So Roddick has had the easiest. Well, Federer's made it look very easy too, but Andy certainly is in good physical form going into the semis.
Hewitt's got his teeth into this match now, and Beck Cartwright is his girlfriend, and she's enjoying this.
It's a 22nd winner from Lleyton Hewitt against only 4 from David Nalbandian. He made a lot more errors than Lleyton as well.
26 for Nalbandian.
Just did not expect this muted a performance from the Argentine. Kind of playing negative tennis. It's not going to get you into a Grand Slam semi, is it?
It's been pretty tame. And that's not how you'd normally describe Nalbandian.
No, he's a mongrel. Both these guys can foam at the mouth for you. Lleyton doesn't even have to tonight. Look at that. Look at that. They're like
They're laid back.
Which is also not something we're used to seeing from these guys.
This is a break point for the second break in the second set for Hewitt. So he's going to serve to go up 2 sets to none. He's playing here at home in front of this raucous crowd of 16,000 in Rod Laver and in front of millions more on TV. Glenn and Sherland, Hewitt's parents, travel with him a lot. They're ever present.
Left for serve.
Tim Clijsters from Belgium used to be ever present in the Lleyton Hewitt section, but they're no longer engaged. The good news is that Clijsters, there's Beck Cartwright, that's Lleyton's girlfriend now, phoned in from Sydney, where she shoots her TV show. For this match. Clijsters, it sounds like, Libby, is finally going to be back on tour in February, recovering from wrist problems she suffered through almost all of last year.
Women's tour will be happy to welcome her back. Clijsters was in the final here last year and very, very nearly beat Justine Hénard for her first Grand Slam. Meanwhile, Leighton Hewitt is now leading by 2 sets to none, set 3, when we come back to Labour Arena here in Melbourne.
Evidently, he said something like, "Don't push me again." The big problem is that Nalbandian hasn't pushed Leighton Hewitt at all tonight. He needs things to change in a hurry, or he's out of the Australian Open this year. He's got to do it. And Leighton is not even having to play his very best tennis. First things first, Nalbandian's got to hold serve, and I think he's got to move better. Just sort of take it to him a little bit more, huh?
Yeah, it's like he's stuck to the court, and he's got way too many, 29 unforced errors in this match.
He's only had 5 winners. Have to amp it up in a big way. I just don't see it. I don't see enough rage from him though. Look at that.
Well, Hewitt is playing his normal game, but Nalbandian may be spending too much time worrying about Hewitt's antics, because you haven't seen actually that much from Hewitt.
No.
It's been very acceptable tonight.
You know, he probably felt that, you know, he was probably wondering, as we all have been, just how hurt Hewitt is. Maybe he thought he could just grind, and that would be enough.
Obviously, nobody knows exactly, but Roger Rashid, who's Leighton Hewitt's coach, after the match, he said yesterday, Hewitt is ready to play and he's fine. He made it out. Obviously, that might have just been for public consumption and for the other players on the tour.
We get a lot of information from these people that's dead wrong. And only afterwards do we find out.
Okay.
And he sure looks pretty comfortable out there tonight, doesn't he?
Nalbandian had his chance there in the second set. He had 2 break points at 2-1, and he didn't convert. And since that moment, this match has been all Leighton Hewitt's.
Well, if Leighton does get past this one, he faces Andy Roddick. Can he beat Roddick and then either Safin or Federer after that? He wouldn't be my pick.
15.
Certainly not your pick to beat Federer. Nobody's in that position.
And Cliff, I don't think he'd be my pick to beat Roddick in the semis.
Well, that's much more problematic for Roddick, in my opinion, maybe, because Roddick's beaten him a number of times. Excuse me.
The other way.
Yeah, the other way.
Roddick's beaten him once.
Yeah, exactly. 4-1 for Hewitt.
Yeah. The last time they played, Houston Masters, we were there for that.
Yeah, we
Roddick didn't play well at all.
He was hurt slightly, Roddick. Talking about it, but he was hurt.
These are the kind of returns that normally come off the frame with the racket of Nalbandian. Yeah, you had won that one very easily. He's tough on these hard courts against Roddick. He's a good returner of serve, Leighton. And then once the ball's in play, he'll scramble around. I still think I'd give Roddick the edge.
sweet. A drop volley for a winner, and Nalbandian has got chances again. 4 break points in this match so far. And if you take another look at that one, this is his 5th, but he hasn't broken. It's a sporting gesture that from Hewitt. Give him a hand like that. That was really spontaneous too from Hewitt. You got to give him his due. He can be crabby, as you said, Mary, but also shows some sporting spirit. Of course, he's up 6-3, 6-2. Break point here.
Finally, he gets the break. On his 6th try.
Watching the Australian Open men's quarterfinal, it's David Nalbandian of Argentina taking on Leighton Hewitt of Australia, number 3 seed in the championship. 3 of the top 4 seeds are in the semifinals already. Leighton Hewitt is trying to make it 4 out of 4. He's up 2 sets to love. Nalbandian 2 games to love. Cliff Drysdale here, Mary Carrillo.
15 love.
Long. Nalbandian steered that one just long. Not even close, in fact, on that shot spot replay. So Nalbandian now struggling again on his serve. Lost his serve 3 times in this match. 15-30. Nalbandian struggled on his serve for the most part from the beginning. Finished last year strongly, ended up in the top 10 players in the world in the entry ranking, but had a season of injuries. Right ankle, and he was practicing for Argentina in the first round Davis Cup tie against Morocco. He had an abdominal muscle tear.
There's the fireworks starting up, so Nalbandian's going to hold off on his serve.
This is the celebration of Australia Day, here at 4th of July.
14-13.
Banyan's taking his time, isn't he? He's trying to wait for those fireworks to be over.
So now Banyan holds it. Now he's got 3 games to love. That's behind 1 break.
They could field 2 Davis Cup teams if they wanted to.
15
Guillermo Coria losing to Nalbandian in the last round. He got to the final in Paris.
Trying to play through the noise of the fireworks.
It's a pivotal moment in the set because if Hewitt goes down another break, which he's in danger of doing now at 15-30, then we'll see a 4th set. At least.
Sounds like Maria Sharapova. Those fireworks.
Firework from Nalbandian. The danger for Hewitt is that while this may be a patch for him that we've seen before at the Australian Open, he's down 2 break points for another break here for Nalbandian.
Well, Nalbandian went through the first couple of sets only hitting 4 winners. He's already hit 4 winners in this set.
That's Hewitt's problem. Is that you may find that Nalbandian is going to get better as this match goes. Matures.
13-14.
Break point Nalbandian. Yeah, that'll do it for Nalbandian. He gets 4 games to love.
Much snappier tennis from Nalbandian, and Cliff, as you said, I mean, Leighton has had some patchy times in every one of his rounds.
He's able to get out of those, Mary, which is one thing, but if Nalbandian's game continues to get better, it may not be as easy for you to escape this time. 2 sets to Hewitt, and now 4 games to Nalbandian in the 3rd.
This is the big finale of the fireworks, and the players are trying to wait it out.
They cannot see the fireworks from the court. We've got a great view of it here, but we're in the top of the stadium. Some fireworks tonight. Maria Sharapova,
15.
Serena Williams. Live coverage starting at 9:30 Eastern time on ESPN2. Live. Well, 30. For me, the turning point for Sharapova was the end of last year at the year-ending championship when she won Wimbledon. I wondered if that was just a one-slam wonder, flash in the pan kind of thing, but the end of the year, she really proved that she is up there with the very best and repeated her Wimbledon final win over Serena Williams.
She knows how to compete.
She's taken out the U.S. Open champ Kuznetsova here already. Chances for Hewitt to get back at least one of the breaks. And he does. So it's 4 games to 1 now. Nalbandian in front, but Hewitt to serve from Rod Laver Arena when we come back. Well, this Australian Open has more than lived up to the possibilities for Australia, with Leighton Hewitt still in the men's singles. He's trailing 4 games to 1 here, but he's up 2 sets to none in the quarterfinal of the men's singles against David Nalbandian. Australia also had a quarterfinalist in the women's singles, losing earlier today to the USA's Lindsay Davenport, who's the top seed. But it was a tremendous performance from them both. And Alicia Molik, 23 years old, serving notice that she's going to be around for a while as a serious contender for a slam title.
Leighton still at 50% serving. He got away with it in the beginning of this match. He's not getting away with it anymore.
Serving to win his first set. He's down 2 sets at the moment. For Leighton Hewitt, he made overt signs of the problems in the last match, that he had a hip problem. You haven't seen any of that from Hewitt yet in this match anyway. He was going for a drop shot there, which is a questionable tactic. Maybe finally he has said, okay, let's get this over with and get to set 4. Hour and 42 minutes so far. Movement looks good, Mary, doesn't it?
It sure does. Yeah.
He's hustled when he's had to.
Look better than Nalbandian's.
15 love.
It's some kind of return, isn't it?
Sort of improvisation, that one. 15 all.
Hewitt has been so much quieter tonight than he's been all tournament long. It's like two different guys. Maybe he's tired of the bad press.
That was a gimme.
30 love.
That was a 4-foot putt, and he didn't even come close. Nalbandian 2 points away. Hewitt said that he thinks this whole thing about the come on and the controversy is all a joke. I think it got to him. Remember a couple of years ago when he played in year-ending championship, the Spanish were getting on to him about it, and he calmed it down considerably for a while. Set point. Yeah, it's wide, and so we're going to see a fourth set here at Melbourne Park. Its first Grand Slam of the year. Nalbandian wins the third. Having said that, every time he's been tested like this so far at the Australian, he has come back. This is a quarter-final round. They're playing for a spot. Semi-finals of this first slam.
I know I keep banging on it, but I still maintain this guy's got to get his first serve percent up. 51%. This is why, that's what it was when he went 5 sets with Nadal in the last round.
Test of stroke making ability, it's a test of speed, but more than anything now, a test of wills. This game is such a mental challenge. You know, it's one-on-one, it's boxing without the gloves.
15 love.
It can take up to 4, 5, even 6 hours for a match. We've seen 6.5-hour matches, best of 5 sets. You don't have a teammate. You don't even have a captain, no coach. Nobody you can really talk to.
Maybe that's why Hewitt talks to himself so much.
And I mean, there's 2 gladiators out there surrounded by 16,000 people. That is a terrific lob. Who, by the way, every time he takes the racket back, they kind of collectively hold their breath. It's that personal to them that this Australian on Australia Day is trying to get to this last 4.
Just buried that one into the net, didn't he?
30-14.
As you said, when he loses it.
And he misses big.
Yeah. Break point now, Bandian, first game of the 4th. Good step there, guys. Our statisticians are right. They're all over this thing like a rash. Chance here in the latter stages. Now Bandian takes it. And they're waving outside there, but not as happy as they were just half an hour ago.
Well, now Bandian's doing more, and now it's the Aussie, Leighton Hewitt, who is downshifting. And we think this guy would be, you know, he knows that Nalbandian, he knew that Nalbandian wasn't playing that well. He had a 2-sets-to-love lead on this guy. That's when you feel, that's when you make your move. That's the clubhouse turn. 1 set from the semis. Now that seems an awful lot further away.
An awful lot further away because it started out in the first game of the 3rd set when the slide started, and now first game of the 4th goes to Nalbandian.
Man, that's a fine smash off a very high defensive lob from Nalbandian. That's one of the first positive things that Hewitt has done in a while. Should try to build on that. Still got almost 3 times the winners.
Played by both. Good half volley there from Hewitt. He kept his cool. 15-30.
He kept his cool and he kept his court position. Nalbandian scooted this thing right where Hewitt was. So Hewitt bunts it down the line for the winner. Normally Hewitt who's got the baton in his hand, and he gets the fans going. Now the fans are trying to get him going.
Last time that these two played against each other was in the final of Wimbledon in 2002. Leighton Hewitt dismantled the surprising Nalbandian, who was obviously in his first and only Slam final. Hewitt was winning his 2nd Slam final. He had won the US Open the year before. He ended up that year #1 in the world. point for Hewitt. Hewitt has 12 aces in this match. Nalbandian only 2. And Hewitt now gives it a loud command.
See, that's when I like it. When it makes sense.
Yes.
You know, when it's not after every other stinking point, and it's not after an opponent's double fault. He hasn't had a lot to scream about lately.
That is a great second serve. Now that's taking a risk. Paying off.
It's been a while since we've seen one of those. That's number 13. 121.
13-15.
Eduardo Infantino, Nalbandian's coach.
Well played point. Game point Hewitt coming up. Lob is, that's a really good stuff there. Now Benny tried to stay into it, but you give a guy like Hewitt a chance to pass from there, and he's very seldom going to lose the point after that well-placed lob volley. Game point. And game to Hewitt. So he's turned this fourth set around. He was down. Turned it on here, hasn't he?
This has been nice. A little extra injection of energy, it seems, to begin this this fourth set. Leighton would love to close this thing out. Get a day off tomorrow and be ready to face Andy Roddick.
The same age, these two, 23 years old. Leighton Hewitt was the youngest ever to end the year at #1 in the world on the computer. That's in.
Does he ever get back there?
Leighton Hewitt?
Yeah.
Only by the grace of Roger Federer, so no.
So that's a no?
Yes.
So Leighton Hewitt was sort of a, he was post-Pete, pre-Roger.
Yes.
That's what he did. He was sort of holding the place for somebody. That's a nice rally. That's a beautiful rally. He's arguing that a call in the middle of that rally, and the chair is going to stick with it. The chair says that was smack on the line. Leighton obviously disagrees. But Leighton should have made that shot anyway, so I don't know why he's arguing so much. This was so very close.
No, it was just out, according to shot spot. Would have given Hewitt the point. Said 30-15. Fantino watching his man. That was a tight forehand from him. There's nothing on that ball. He wasn't going for anything. Pressure's on in this thing. Pressure is on. 30 all, 1-2, fourth set, down 2-1 Albania. Despite of all of his injuries of last year, Nalbandian's still a top 10 player. Hewitt is number 3 in the world. Nalbandian holds. It's even in the fourth set, 2 games apiece. Speaking of the Dodger, Roger in action. He's from Switzerland. The number 1 seed will take on Marat Safin, a repeat of their final of last year. That's tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock on ESPN2.
Well, remember that match at the Masters in Houston the end of last year. Federer won that 2018 tiebreak. Lasted, what was it? Didn't it last about a half hour, Clippy?
Went on forever. We were there.
Yeah, it was fabulous.
Great stuff.
Well, you know, there's only a couple of guys in tennis who could truly dominate, and it's, to my mind, that's Federer, Safin, and Roddick. Which means Safin's got to look at that win. I still like Federer. Roger Federer, of course.
Say that again, Mary. There are only 2 or 3 players who can dominate.
Who can dominate? Who've got enough guns to just, you know, smoke up a court and not give the opponent any shot. Roger Federer has got so many great shots, and Safin's got a huge game. Roddick's got a tremendous serve and forehand. Those guys can just dominate an opponent.
They can't dominate Federer, can they?
No, no. But Safin, I mean, he could certainly, I could see some tie breaks happening last night, that's for sure.
I mean, tomorrow night.
We've gone wide by 3 meters.
Right. Federer over Hewitt, I mean, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Federer is just, he's a different standard. He really is. He reminds me of Michael Phelps, a swimmer who just dominated in Athens last summer. That's how far away he's pulled from the rest of the competition.
He's like Tiger Woods was a few years ago.
Yep.
Serena Williams was a few years ago.
That's nice.
Put away, and it's 30-15 Hewitt.
That's the kind of fun point that gets the crowd going. Should make Hewitt feel pretty good that he was able to so sweetly time that forehand and come in behind it. Finish it with a flourish. That's nice. Now, Nalbandian has definitely stepped things up, hasn't he?
Thank you.
30-all. Hewitt lost his first serve game of the set, but broke back.
And now Nalbandian is dug in. Don't you get that feeling?
Yes.
Yeah, he's looking for the win now.
Yeah, and he's got a break chance here. Yeah, I mean, I think they both know now that they're going to have to win it. Neither one of these two. Roger Rashid watching his man in trouble.
It didn't get him in trouble in the first couple of sets, but Hewitt is serving at 48% now. These missed first serves are starting to count for something.
Ooh, a double fault and another break to Nalbandian. And Roger Rashid is shaking his head. 3-2. Nalbandian to serve, and we come back to Levitt Arena here in Melbourne. They're in full voice, and they need to get even louder for Lleyton Hewitt now, after winning the first two sets. He lost the third, and he's trailing with a break. This is Nalbandian at 3-2. Pausing there to get a feel for what they were singing, but I'm not sure that they know at this stage what they're singing. 15 love, Nalbandian. Sister Jocelyn. He was cup coach there in front of him, mom and dad, all in the Lleyton camp. And he's sitting there like there's no huge camp there in Nalbandian's corner. He's cleaned it up, hasn't he?
Let for serve.
Unforced errors from Hewitt, Mary. They, you know how
piling up on it.
Yeah, and they're nearly up to where Nalbandian is, and Nalbandian started out terribly. That department in the first two sets. Game point. Live coverage coverage tonight of the women's singles semifinals. 9:30 on ESPN2. Maria Sharapova, who won the year-ending championship at the Staples Center in LA last year, and also beat Serena Williams in the final at Wimbledon. Lindsay Davenport followed that match against Natalie Deschy, number 19 from France. Davenport with a tremendous effort against Alicia Molik.
Molik, the player who had beaten Venus Williams.
Please show please won't by not making any noise during the point. Thank you.
That's fair enough. Mohamed Layani of Sweden.
Oh. 13 love.
Nalbandian has Armenian blood in his veins. There's another man who has Andre Agassi. Dad Mike was a terrific boxer for Iran, but he also had Armenian in him. Game point Hewitt. Got it.
That stayed in. Quick question, Cliff. You think Andre Agassi shows up here next year?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Even after getting tooled by Federer last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a terrible draw. And of all the guys to play, Roger Federer in the quarters.
That's nice stuff from Hewitt.
And then before that, he had to play Joachim Johansson. So, yeah, I think he'll be back. David Nalbandian up 4-3. He'll serve. He's got a break. But he's down 2-1 to Leighton Hewitt of Australia, number 3 seed for Australia. You're watching coverage of the Australian Open. It's the first slam of the year. Been going for 100 years, this great championship. They have such a deep history of tennis, great champions of the past, and Leighton Hewitt is their latest top player. Rod Laver Arena, Melbourne, Australia, second week, quarterfinal stages. And Hewitt is taking on David Nalbandian of Argentina, the number 9 seed. Nalbandian has made a comeback in set 3, won at 6-1, set 4. He's got the break. He leads 4-3. After Hewitt won the first 2. $16,000, and there's not a seat to be had in this arena.
Well, if Leighton Hewitt ever needed a Davis Cup style atmosphere, he needs it right now. Nalbandian serving much better than Hewitt. He's really grabbed the momentum from this match. Leighton could use all the help he can get right now.
Wow. Replay it.
Very quick correction.
15.
Yeah, that's a really good call. A really good, quick, efficient call.
Still 15 love.
Now this is the time to settle back and enjoy this match, because you've got two warriors going at it here, and they both know now, believe me, they both know now that whether it gets to a fifth set or not, that every point here is so telling. The prize so huge. Forget the money. It's the chance to be in the semi-final and take on Andy Roddick in the first Grand Slam of the year. They both know that they both have got a real chance to win this match. Hewitt's up 2-1, but Nalbandian is just 2 games away from getting into a fifth set.
Well, this is where Lleyton Hewitt has to take the advice of Alicia Molik, the Aussie who played her way into the quarters, barely lost to Lindsay Davenport earlier today, 9-7 in the third. But Molik says her motto is, don't die wondering. Go for your shots. Believe in yourself.
I like that.
I did too.
Don't die wondering.
Don't die wondering.
That's like saying when at the start of the tournament, I may get beat, but somebody's going to have to play darn good to beat me.
That's right.
Not many will scrap harder than either one of these two.
Exactly.
Hole, 3-5.
Oh boy. Well,
15-30.
That's his 6th double fault, and he's serving at 48%. That was a bit of luck.
Immediate confirmation from Mohamed Lahani in the chair on that call, and it was a long way from him. Got good control of this match.
He does. Oh boy, and again, when he misses.
He was backing up on that one. That was all arm in that swing, and it gives Nalbandian a set point.
Yep. It's been a tight Lleyton Hewitt from 2 sets up. That's all there is to it.
Tight. Bye. So we'll see a fifth set here on this Rod Laver Arena, as the Australian on Australia Day tries desperately to hang on to this match and get to the final 4 of this first Grand Slam of the year.
David Nalbandian, after playing 2 very meek-looking sets, has got the momentum going into the 5th.
Over 15,000 here, and in this country, as we were saying earlier, around about 20 million people. A good portion, a very good portion of them are watching this. 15 love.
Are you trying to Sequit, that the ratings for tennis in Australia are higher than the ratings for tennis in the United States?
Hard to believe, isn't it?
15 all.
Well, they reckon 2 out of every 3 Aussies in this country are watching this match. That's a nice shot.
Last year, there was a Davis Cup match that was going to be played here, and the National Network also had the rights to a golf tournament, and the golfers were really aggravated because they would not. They were going to cover Davis Cup at the expense of a huge golf tournament here. 30-15. Nalbandian. First game, 5th set.
Quick overroll from the chair again.
Replay, they'll replay. He's right.
He's having a pretty good night up there, isn't he?
Yep.
Mohamed Lehani of Sweden.
He's not afraid to go with his vision. As close as that was. From the linesperson.
Yep.
So
point goes to Hewitt.
Yep. So the chair up is going with the original. The chair umpire is suggesting that Nalbandian was not interrupted and affected by the call. That is a very close call. So the ball was good. He calls it out. And he's not getting to play 2 because in the chair ump's opinion, the call did not affect his play on the ball. Nalbandian's coach, and he's a proud man right now. Started out with Nalbandian making so many unforced errors, but that has turned around. He's made a steal, this boy. They both are in a way. .39 hit rally. Nalbandian wins the first game of the fifth. And now, just about closing in on 10:30 at night, there is not one seat that has been vacated here in Rod Laver Arena. Another reminder that tonight, live coverage of Maria Sharapova, Wimbledon champ and year-ending champ against Serena Williams, who won her own Serena Slam here 2 years ago. Her last Slam win was followed that at Wimbledon Championship over her sister. So what has become a mini rivalry will continue here. Teenage Sharapova against multiple Grand Slam winner Serena Williams. Got a lot of support.
Took a lot for Leighton Hewitt to win that point, and you can see now Nalbandian is dialed in so well to the Hewitt return. For the first few sets, he couldn't break him. The last couple of sets, he's broken him 6 times, and he's drawing a good beat on him now. That's a fine serve. What an angle. Short in the box and tailing off away from Nalbandian's forehand.
13-15.
They've both been here before. Nalbandian in the final of Wimbledon against Leighton Hewitt. Hewitt has won 2 slams. Took out Pete Sampras in 2001 US Open. Game point. Come on, we haven't heard many of those from Hewitt as his parents watch, and the Hewitt bench appreciate that he's been able to level the 5th set in 1 game apiece. Early stages, but everybody in this stadium knows, as does his girlfriend Beck Cartwright, that the first slip here in the 5th set could be lethal. clean now and crisp from both of them.
This is the kind of tennis I expected right from the beginning of this match. Now in the 5th, these rallies are becoming much longer, much more complicated. Nalbandian making far too many errors in the first couple of sets to create that kind of rhythm for himself. Now he's right there.
Pause!
Yeah, he's worked his way into this very efficiently. We're dead solid even now at 2 sets apiece, 1 game all, 15 all at stake, a place in the final 4 of this first Grand Slam. Former world #1 and David Nalbandian.
The chair jumping in again. Well, he is on it. Here it's aggravated that this guy calling the service line missed that one, and Mohamed Leani of Sweden had to jump in. This is such an international sport, with not only on the player side, but on the official side. And it's just fascinating to hear so many different accents, so many different voices. Remember good old Paulo Pereira, the South American chair umpire?
It's one of the huge strengths of the game, its international character. 15-30, huge point.
Quick story about Paulo Pereira. He used to try to calm down the crowd by saying, he wanted to say seats quickly, but instead he used to say Sid Quigley. And that became his nickname. Oh, it's Sid Quigley's in the chair tonight.
15-14.
I miss Sid. 2 breakpoint chances. It's been a long time since you had the lead in this match.
Solid point there by Nalbandian. The crowd prematurely giving Lleyton Hewitt the hand, thinking that he'd won the point, but Nalbandian did not go away. Watch this right here.
15-14.
A little bit lucky on that overhead there from Lleyton Hewitt. Nalbandian was able to get to it. Still break point. So we'll see 2. They'll play it again, Sam. Boos from the crowd.
Well, Mohamed Leani may be right. He may be wrong. Whatever it is, it sure was close.
He's dead right again.
He was good.
And that was on the opposite side of the court from him.
He's the new Sid Squiggly.
Now, I'll tell you what, Mary, he has done a terrific job. As you said, right or wrong, but he's been right so many more times than wrong.
Yep.
Break point, Hewitt. Oh, that is a smart play. A little drop volley there from Nalbandian on the return, and he had a lot of different options. He could have juiced that one into either side, but he wanted to keep it away from the speedy one from Australia.
Pretty gutsy, huh? For a guy who hardly ever serves in volleys to do it at that moment of this match.
Affirmative. Pivotal game?
Yeah.
From 1540?
That's fair to say. Almost 3 hours. They're playing better tennis now than they have all night. No one has gone home. I gotta say, if this were the U.S. Open, Clippy, there'd be plenty of empty seats by now.
Yes.
It just doesn't happen around here. They want to see their men through. Take him home.
No frustration there for Lleyton Hewitt. That's okay. He's at this stage of the match. He's entitled to that.
That's a big forehand. Great length on that shot. Plenty of pace on it as well. It draws the error. We're back to deuce. Going from defense to offense. Those guys didn't have much to do for the first few sets of this match. A little bit of luck for the Aussie.
Nalbandian knew when he hit that ball that it was going to be close. You could sort of see him taking a deep breath saying, oh no, get up, ball. Break point.
Hewitt quickly looks to the chair to confirm it. It was way out. Out by a mile, as he would say.
The Australian Open is what you're watching. Men's quarterfinal round. It's David Nalbandian, Argentina, and Lleyton Hewitt. The pride of Australia on Australia Day. We're in the 5th set of this match, and we are dead solid even. 2 sets apiece, 1 game, and deuce. Now Nalbandian with a game point. 2 tries over Mary Carrillo, enjoying this moment alongside every breathless Australian fan. And they have a love-hate relationship with Lleyton Hewitt. But at this point, I can guarantee you that it's all love in his direction. He's handled himself very well tonight, Lleyton.
Against him in that game, but he's up 2-1, and Hewitt is frustrated right now.
5 of 14, and as you said, Cliffy, just lately, Hewitt's missed some big opportunities. And remember, Nalbandian just couldn't make any kind of a dent in the breakpoint chances for the first few sets, and that has not been the case since.
American Express donating $100 Australian to the Kids Tennis Foundation for every ace. Lleyton Hewitt has helped that cause. He's got 13 aces. David Nalbandian only 3. Amex have been great supporters of tennis here and the US Open.
On it, missed it big.
Crowd of spectators here have been through the ringer today already with Alicia Malik earlier today. 11-9 in the third set. She went down. Like that 9-7, excuse me, in the third set to Lindsay Davenport. Now Lleyton Hewitt in the final set of his match is struggling. Six unforced errors apiece in this third set so far. And they're dead even in unforced errors now for the match. And after 2 sets, Nalbandian was way in front in that department. Gave him a freebie, but they're coming few and far between now. 30-all. Just a couple of minutes short of 3 hours this match, and these two are covering this court like it's the third game of the match.
Plenty of conviction on that backhand winner. That's a big hold.
2 games apiece in the 5th set. Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova tonight at 9:30. Live coverage of the first of 2 semi-final matches. Serena Williams, former world #1, and Maria Sharapova, Wimbledon and year-ending champion. Lindsay Davenport and Natalie Deschy to follow that one tonight.
Nalbandian has just become so solid, hasn't he?
Yeah.
15 love.
Finally finding that right mix, Nalbandian, of patience and aggression that had eluded him for the first 2 sets.
Seems to me that he's juicing his serve up a bit here as well. Still doesn't have, that's only his 4th ace of the match, but it's getting a little heavier. That's exactly the right play from Hewitt to come in there and try to go for the winner on the return. But now Nalbandian was right there, and then he steers this one down. No trouble with this. I mean, he's on the run. No balance in that shot. That was arm and shoulders, and worked just fine. Game point, Nalbandian. Tough is Nalbandian at this point in the match? Well, Hewitt will find out, so will we. It's 3 hours old, this match, and Lleyton Hewitt and David Nalbandian are locked in a struggle in the 5th set on serve. Hewitt trailing 2-3. Hewitt won the first 2 sets easily, lost the second 2, 6-1 and 6-3.
15-9.
Both know that this match is going to turn on a couple of imponderables. And they will both do everything they can to make them go their way.
Lleyton's a little too young to have faced the lefty version of David Nalbandian. The Moo Man, Mr. Moo, Thomas Muster of Austria, who was just one snarling, physical, backcourt beast who loved these long ones. Shades of the Moo?
Yes, I was thinking that before this match ever started, Mary, and I made a note and forgot to bring it with me, to bring the Moo Man up, because I know how much you loved him, and I learned to appreciate him too.
You did?
I did eventually.
Long after he was gone.
No, at the end of his career.
All right.
I did learn to appreciate what talent he had.
He could play the long ones for you, just like the Argentine. Of course, I always just waxed rhapsodic over Mr. Moon, acted like he was this great finesse guy, a real artiste, and of course he wasn't anything close to that. Just did it to aggravate you, Cliff.
What?
40-30.
Too tough. Okay, settle back and enjoy this, because you're watching two of them, and this is the stage when they both know that they're going to have to make something happen. Just like that. He made it happen. Moisture in the air. Neither one giving any quarter now. $119 apiece, and it's 3-all in the fifth. That's too tough. That's just too tough.
You did the right thing by trying to take it to Nalbandian. Yes. Some nice use of the lob here from David. And that got Hewitt off the net. Although he tried to get back in, he wasn't in a good enough position to do something winning from there.
So now he's David because he plays a clean winning passing shot. Suddenly he's David. Same point to David.
And now he's back to Nalbandian.
14-15.
It's drizzling a bit. Anticlimax that would be if this could be called for rain.
Well, they could close the roof, which would take about 15 minutes.
So crisp and clean from both of these guys now. Oh, this is genius at the highest level from these two banging at each other. And Nalbandian's got the lead on serve. Interesting history this country has. They had such great champions. The last one was Mark Edmondson, took out John Newcombe in the 1976 Australian Open final. This was the highlight of Edo. He was not in the locker room. His career. John Newcombe the year before that had taken out Jimmy Connors in a huge match when they were 1 and 2 in the world. Mark Edmondson was the last Australian to win this championship.
Well, of course, back then it was played on grass at Kooyong.
And back then it did not get the international feel that it gets now.
No.
You're watching the Australian Open. This is men's quarterfinal. It's Leighton Hewitt, the favorite son, on this Australia day as he takes on David Nalbandian of Argentina. First 2 sets going to Leighton Hewitt. Looked like it might be an early evening for everyone, but Nalbandian has come back. He's got a 4-3 lead in the 5th set. Hewitt serving. We're on serve.
And as we often see in this cruel sport, sometimes it's harder to come back from ahead than to come back from behind.
Love 30. That's a nice change there from Leighton Hewitt. He got the slice backhand as Nalbandian trying to throw a few different things at Hewitt, but he wasn't intimidated at all. That's a great shot from Hewitt down the line. .30. Nalbandian, Andy Roddick, US Open last year, Mary.
Wasn't that something?
14-13.
Nalbandian up 2 sets to love against Andy Roddick in a set point in the 3rd before Roddick was able to pull that out, beat Nalbandian in the semis, and then on to win his first ever major. Hewitt up 2 sets here, trying to be forceful in the 5th. Nalbandian trying to Roddick him.
Well, he's really opened up now, Nalbandian. He's really hitting the ball much harder now than he was earlier.
His coach trying to tell him that's okay. Keep going for your shots. It's what got you this even.
Whoa, that surprise. He's been hitting the ball so hard, and then he comes up with that little delicate drop shot, and Lleyton Hewitt is speedy, trust me. He didn't even start for that one. Deuce.
Lucky on that one. That was a hanging curveball for Nalbandian. And you were giving him so many looks.
Lleyton Hewitt has leveled at 4-4, fifth set. Nalbandian has juiced things up, but at deuce he missed 2 on the return. Nalbandian's turned up the heat, hasn't he? Oh, a little bit of heat for heat.
Well, Lleyton is trying to take some nice looking cuts at these serves in this game.
14-15.
Didn't have a good enough look until just then. He's still in trouble though.
That's too good. As Nalbandian takes the lead 5 games to 4. We're on serve in the 5th. Hewitt to serve, and we come back to Levitt Arena. Hewitt has never got to the last 8, far less the last 4, and that's what he's trying for here. It's 5 games to 4. Nalbandian from Argentina leading Hewitt, so he's 4 points away from this match. And Hewitt has to find a way.
Leighton, you would love to have that one back.
15.
He had some options there.
That is the understatement of the 5
Jeez.
sets, man.
Nalbandian stayed home and just was right there to strike the winner.
Good. Couple of swings there on the line or very close to it.
That one, and then that one.
Oh. 30-15. Nalbandian go for this one. Glenn and Sherilyn sat in this hot seat many times over the last 4 or 5 years.
15.
And point. It'll be midnight in about 45 minutes time here in Australia, and see how they're all streaming out.
They want to see this through.
It's Australia Day.
And Aussie has not gotten this close, nowhere near this close to the championship in so long. As our good friend, the fiery one, Fred Solly, would say, it's been a long time between drinks.
Love. He got it. Extraordinary stuff from the Argentine as he steers this one that is both close to the line and close to the sideline and baseline. Another look.
Pretty good work 3.5 hours into this match.
It's
Having been
adrenaline.
2 sets down. Davis Cup atmosphere that punctuated the first set of this 5-setter is back for Hewitt. They've gone quiet for a while, and it looked like things were well in hand for the Aussie.
5 apiece in the 5th set. One slip. One slip. And your history. Drop shot against Lleyton Hewitt on a hard court. The guy's too quick. It works once or twice, but don't go to that well too often. And Lleyton Hewitt has got a break point. Into a position that Hewitt that he just where he wanted to be, but he couldn't close it out.
What a point. Hewitt had done the damage with his fine lob. It got him in a good position. Is that one of those one slips you were talking about?
Yes. Oh. Deuce. You just play with instinct. David Nalbandian holds. He escaped a trap in that last game that Hewitt will never forget if he doesn't come back in this match. Down under in Melbourne, Australia, it is Lleyton Hewitt serving at 5-6. 5th set. Quarterfinal of the men's singles here in Australia. Oh, Hewitt with a golden opportunity in that last game at break point. He did not convert. Now Nalbandian 3 points away from a win and a place in the semi-final.
30-15.
Nalbandian, 2 points from the semis. If he can pull this off, boy, that is one heck of an effort.
Nalbandian is checking that mark, and it was right through the line. 10-point Hewitt. Hewitt holds. No tie breaks in the 5th set. Nalbandian's lost service game, and Lleyton Hewitt has got a break point. Watch it again as Hewitt built himself into a beautiful position. Just take a look at this. Hewitt in the bottom of your screen. Nalbandian comes in. Now, watch this lob is perfectly played. Nalbandian is on the defense, and Hewitt has got the offense and has the point made, but nets it.
Did a nice job of holding now to force it to 6-all. At this stage in the women's match, 6-all in the final set between Malik and Davenport. Malik forgot that there was no tiebreak in the 3rd. No confusion with Hewitt after that first point.
These are 2 titans of the tight situation. I mean, if there's one guy that you don't want to be playing at 6-all in the 5th, it's Lleyton Hewitt. But if there's another guy that you don't want to be playing, it's David Nalbandian. First man to take the real risk in that point is Hewitt. 15 more.
Go back to something else that the delightful young Aussie Alicia Malik said after she won her match the other day and was looking forward to playing Davenport after her Venus win. She said, the key today was I wasn't going to go out and wait for Venus to make mistakes. I had to be prepared to go for my shots. Malik said, my coach is always telling me it's a numbers game. The more you go for your shots, the more chance you have of pulling them off. And won't that decide this match tonight?
Yes.
Don't die wondering.
This young Argentine from a small mountain town called Urquillo in the province of Cordoba. At 450 miles from Buenos Aires. How long away has he come? Here on center stage at the first slam of the year. Taking on Australia's pride and hope, Lleyton Hewitt, and he's got a game point at 6-6 in the 5th set. As you were saying, Mary.
Well, that serve is only 83 miles an hour. It's too safe.
Tom Ross is there next to his
You don't overroll something like that this late in the 5th.
shot spot says it just clipped the line. Tom Rossi's agent is just going to say, sitting next to his parents, they're saying, yeah, that was long. Game point, Nalbandian, 6-6, 5th set. Take a deep collective breath outside of Rod Laver Arena and all over Australia. Hewitt to serve. As Nalbandian of Argentina leads 7-6. 3rd set. No tie break. 3rd set. 5th set. You've been watching this all match long, haven't you, Mary?
Yeah, it's been his biggest single problem. This match began at 7:30 tonight. It's now after 11. Andy Roddick awaits the winner. Roddick has had a very easy road to the semis. So he hopes they just keep playing on.
And I bet, as you were saying earlier, I bet he is watching. Maria Sharapova, on the other hand, you'll see her tonight again live coverage. She doesn't watch any women's matches, she says.
She says she doesn't watch. She watches the men.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
15 all. So interesting. This is not a matter of just putting the ball in play and waiting for your opponent to make an error. They are both going for it now. First strike tennis.
And once again, Nalbandian 2 points from the match.
What a great serve, setting up that winner. In this 5th set, Lleyton Hewitt has had 4 chances to break. Nalbandian hasn't had a break point. Quarterfinals of the men's singles here at the Australian Open. Lleyton Hewitt and David Nalbandian, 2 sets apiece as Nalbandian beaten 6-3, 6-2 by Hewitt in the first 2 and then made a dramatic comeback as he wins the 3rd 6-1, the 4th 6-3. It's 7-7 in the 5th. The winner ushers himself into the semi-final. The loser goes home. In Lleyton Hewitt's case, that's not far. Adelaide's about an hour's flight from here.
It's well wide. It's just Lleyton's nerves getting to him. It was well wide.
Love Nalbandian. These two played against each other, as we said before, in the final of Wimbledon. But it's been a while. That was in 2002. So it has been a long time since they played against each other.
And after this, they probably don't want to play each other again for a while. Every couple of years is just about right.
Hewitt won that one easily. In fact, Hewitt never lost a set to Nalbandian until tonight. 8-7 he leads. Hewitt to serve when we come back. Fans outside have not given up hope. You can sit outside this Rod Laver Arena and you can check out the action on Laver Arena, the big screen TV outside, and they have been enjoying a tremendous match. This has been a great comeback, Mary, by any definition.
It sure has. Close to 4 hours old, this quarterfinal battle. Whoever wins gets a day off and then faces Andy Roddick in the semis.
David Nalbandian played until 2 o'clock in the morning a couple of nights ago. 2 a.m. taking out Guillermo Coria, his countryman. Glenn and Sherlin, Lleyton Hewitt's parents, sitting alongside Roger Rashid and the other Hewitt camp members. Hewitt wins this match. It's looking problematic at this point, but if he can, then the top 4 seeds will be in the semi-finals. Andy Roddick's already there. So is Roger Federer, who will take on Marat Safin in the semis. Watch that this time tomorrow. 15 all.
Whomever it is, Roddick will be a lot fresher. He's played through 5 rounds in less than 8 hours. Much different from what these two have been going through in this fortnight.
Close on the baseline there. Hewitt's looking, but he's not complaining. Must have clipped the line. It did.
And for the 3rd time, Nalbandian is 2 points from the semis. How many times can you hold him back?
What a serve.
Popped that one in at 125.
That one sails, and Hewitt upset that he didn't get a call earlier in the point.
They played great defense, though, kept it in play. It was so close to the baseline that Hewitt had to pretty much bunt it back, and did it wonderfully, and has given himself a game point. And the chair is defending the call.
Ladies and gentlemen, please don't make any calls during the round.
That's what Nalbandian was asking of Mohamed Layani.
Who made the call? Game point. This for 8 all.
Coach. These two are made of steel.
Well, it's interesting that Hewitt is going for so many big serves at this point. It reminds me of Michael Chang, who used to have play with a big high percentage of serves, then tried to get quicker points easier. Went for big stuff, and his percentage went down.
Kind of a match that you wait for years to enjoy. Watching in Australia, on Australia Day, struggling, fighting, clawing to get to the last 4.
This arena. It's almost 11:30.
Thank you. It's already. Thank you.
look so quick, it's almost 11:45, 11:45, and there's nothing between these two.
Literally nothing, and the question now is who will be the first to flinch.
No good reason for Nalbandian to miss that shot except for the bigness of the occasion.
Left for serve.
Oh, Hewitt is so quick. Now Benin serves him out wide to the forehand side, opens up the court for himself, throws it into the backhand side, and Hewitt tracks it down. Another look, look at this, into the back. Hewitt's right there, and so now Nalbandian's got to come up with another jewel to win the point.
Left for serve.
Hewitt, the first one to say too good. For all the accusations that Hewitt's a bit of a bad sport, he's been spot on tonight.
Yes. Between the legs, and Lleyton Hewitt lets him get away with it. Give me a break. Look at that bench. They're stunned into silence.
Fifth set. 8-all.
It's even worse on the replay.
30-all.
Remember Roddick Ellenawi?
I do, actually.
But this,
Magnificent quarterfinal 2 years ago. Well into the evening.
13-14.
no Australians in that name, Roddick Ellenawi. Here you have an Aussie. It's even more electrifying. Break point. After 4 hours of play, they call him Little Lleyton here in Australia. But Little Lleyton has got a heart. sets to beat Nadal, the Spaniard, in a brilliant match. Now on the brink, this is match point. It's David Nalbandian.
I love this sport, I love this country, I love this tournament. I love this moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Australia. It is Leslie Hewitt's match.
David Nalbandian was terrific. His comeback in the third and fourth sets was something to remember, and this crowd will never forget this moment. Lleyton Hewitt winning it in the fifth set on Australia Day for Australia. It's difficult to describe just how huge a moment this is for him and for sports in this country. Lleyton Hewitt is in the semi-finals of this first Grand Slam of the year. He took out David Nalbandian.